Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the fourth add-on and 25th overall review of series number 11, North American Market Snus. And no, this playlist has not seen any new action in quite a while, about 3 years actually. So, they have finally arrived in my area. So we're going to be taking a look at this one in particular today. This is Grizzly Snus, and this is the Natural. We're going to take it over to the desk and take a closer look at the packaging, which is probably seeming a little bit familiar to you, and the product inside. Back in a moment. Okay, and here we are. So, this is what you're looking at. 15 no-spit tobacco pouches. This is the Natural. You have an all-metal tin, 2 halves. That's the manufacturer's information right there. It is an American Snuff Company product. The makers of Grizzly, Kodiak, and Cougar. They are headquartered out of Memphis, Tennessee. This is tax class M. So they are rolling with the tax class for dip, and that is your net weight ounces, considerably less grams than a can of dip, less than half actually. And then going around to the back, everything is pretty straightforward. There is some sort of date code, but I am not sure what it is. This has just recently arrived in my area and had been just stocked at a local Wawa, so I'm not overly worried about dates. Now, you're thinking to yourself, that does look familiar, and there is a reason for that. Although, do note, Camel has just done a layout change for their cans. Why are they looking so similar? Well, it's simple, really. They're Camel, and Camel's parent company is owned by the same parent company that owns American Snuff Company. Reynolds American owns both entities that puts out both of these products, and that is why. All right? So, as far as compared to a dip can, I'm thinking that this packaging a lot of people are familiar with, so I'm not going to get way into it. There is something up at the top here. 100% imported tobacco. Okay. Okay, so we're going to get into this. I'm going to move the Stoker's can out of the way. And I am interested. Now, the interest I have in this is this going to taste like dip? Have they come out with a spitless dip? Sort of like American Snuff Company's 25-year later answer to Skull Dry. I'll be interested to see. That is the website, by the way, mygrizzly.com. I have never liked these containers. And that's a little different. Okay, so they have gone with the larger size pouch, which is good, because people dippers will be the ones buying this. And I'm going to smell this real quick off camera. And it smells not like a... You know what it's smelling like? It's actually smelling like a original European snus with bergamot. I was wondering what they were going to be doing here. We're going to take this back up top. These are smaller than a dip pouch, although that said they are longer. There's 15 to a can. They're set up like your standard dip pouch as far as seaming goes. They are of a white material, and it is not really being stained, which means this is pretty darn dry. But we're going to take it back up top because I am interested to see what is going on with this. And I'm back. So, I was thinking that this was going to be dip in a pouch that was really dry, that you didn't have to spit because it was so dry. And that wouldn't be a reach with Grizzly, because in my mind, Grizzly's pretty dry in the dip variant. So, but this is smelling, I'll tell you what this smells like. What it immediately reminds me of. It immediately reminds me of General Snus back when it was in the plastic cans that were elongated, somewhat like this, and they had the catch lid on the back, on the bottom side. That's what this smells like. Now, had this smelled like Grizzly Natural Dip, that would have been interesting in my mind too. Why this has taken so long to get into my area, I do not know, because of all the places they'd be selling, pronunciation, it's important. This, you would think they'd be hitting metro areas because it's spit free. Anyway, I'm going to throw this down bottom because I don't see anybody watching this doing anything else otherwise. It's really soft. It's a larger size pouch as far as snus goes, but as you can see, this is going to take a second, though, to get the flavor going. I can tell. So I'm going to pause real quick for the sake of you not having to sit here and watch me go, Back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I was gone maybe like 2 minutes. Got it moving around my mouth a bit. Got it a bit sort of soaking type deal. I'm going to be honest. Now I don't have anything against Grizzly, but I've never really been drawn to Grizzly products, with the exception of the Dark Select. I'm digging this. Now, this is an American snus, so it's sort of a mix of things. What they're going for is an original Swedish snus with the bergamot. But at the same time, it's somewhat sweet and sort of mellow, sort of like Camel Mellow, but not that sweet. What it is not a Grizzly Natural that's been pasteurized and put in a pouch, which is sort of what I was expecting and would have been very interesting in its own right. That would have also been something. It's all very sort of familiar and normal course of things, and at the same time, by being that, it's sort of not. So what you have here is sort of a mix between a Camel Mellow snus. If you're not familiar with that, pick one up next time you're in a convenience store. It's got the sweetness and the mellow tobacco aspect, but it also has the bergamot, which you would find in like a General Original. And the two are sort of combined. Now, the pouch is slightly bigger. It is not as big or as plump as Skull Snus. What this has, though, over Skull Snus has the larger bags and it's in a round can, although the bottom is somewhat see-through plastic. A review of that is on this playlist. The playlist will be listed at the end of this video. But what this does have is it has a more interesting flavor to me. There's plenty of it. Now, again, this is nothing like actual real snus. This is a North American product for North American market. It's sweeter than anything that would come out of Sweden. It is got much more flavor, much more quickly. But as far as it over the Skoal products, I'm not a big mint guy, so this could just be my own, this is my opinion. All of this stuff is basically my opinion. This has a more interesting flavor. The two Skoal products, the Smooth Mint and the Mint, are both mint, and it's, in my mind, overblown mint. It is like blow your socks off, sting your cheek, cooling sensation deal. And, some people like that. And if you like it, that's what you want to go to. But I am not, when I smoke cigarettes, I was never a menthol guy. Dip, I've never really been drawn to mint stuff. Nasal snus. Wow. Nasal snuff. There is workable, actable reasons for it that I can see are a pro. That is a good thing. It makes it easier to take. It, eases the process, etc. When it comes to tobacco, I want something that's sort of interesting, but definitely tobacco backed. And this is that. It's interesting. It's not bad interesting. It's a good interesting, and it's got the tobacco there. And the whole thing is, it's a good deal. Now, what these are retailing at, in my area, I think it was close to $5 for 15 bags that are small. This is a deal, something you want to try, and I would suggest, you probably want to try this. But something that has an application if you are in a situation where you cannot use a spittoon. Okay? And there are those. Now, you can go nick pouches. I like tobacco. If I can go with tobacco, I'm going to go with tobacco. If it has to be spit free, I'm still going to go with tobacco, if at all possible. So, the nicotine seems, it's there. It's not like blow your socks off, but it's definitely there. It's comfortable. It's fairly low profile, but you can see. Let me move it around the front. Yeah, it's a larger size pouch. Somebody out there's going to be like, I'm going to double them up. You probably could. The nicotine's such that it's enough satisfying, but you're not going to be overloaded if you use two pouches at the same time. I am not spitting, and for this, to tell you the truth, I did not even bring a spittoon over here. And I usually have one if I'm not sure about something. I even have one over here during some nasal snuff reviews, just in case. But this has been my review of Grizzly Natural Snus. I believe this actually won an award for some sort of convenience store national association, and I sort of see why. It's a good deal, and it's an interesting, tasty product. So this has been my review of Grizzly Snus. I do hope you all are well. As always, do take care of yourselves, and God bless.